Imagine waking up tomorrow, putting your feet on the floor, and feeling nothing. Not pain, not numbness, just nothing. Like your feet have gone to sleep and they're not waking up. Now imagine that feeling doesn't go away. It stays with you all day. That strange sensation that your feet aren't really yours anymore. If that sounds familiar, or if you've noticed tingling, burning, or a strange cotton-like feeling in your feet, this is for you. Because what you're about to learn could explain why that's happening and what you can actually do about it. Before we get started, please remember that this content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for personalized medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare provider about your specific situation. Here's a number that might shock you. Almost 4 out of every 10 people over the age of 70 have some degree of this condition. But here's the part that's even more concerning. Research shows that more than 60% of those people have never been told by their doctor that they have it. Not because their doctor isn't competent, but because this condition is one of the most frequently missed problems in people over 60. And the stakes couldn't be higher. It affects your balance, your independence, and your ability to walk without fear of falling. If you've been dealing with unusual sensations in your feet, stay with me for the next few minutes. I'm going to show you what's actually happening inside your body, why it tends to get worse, and most importantly, what you can start doing today to change its course. So what exactly is going on? Most people assume these symptoms are just a normal part of aging. They get told it's just something you have to live with. That's simply not accurate. What you're experiencing has a name. It's called peripheral neuropathy. And it means your peripheral nerves, the ones that travel from your spine all the way down to your toes, are struggling to do their job properly. Now, many people think neuropathy is only caused by diabetes. And yes, diabetes is a major risk factor. But here's something that surprises most people. A significant number of people with neuropathy have completely normal blood sugar. You don't need to be diabetic for this to happen. Age alone is a major driver. The older you get, the higher your risk becomes. So why does aging lead to this problem? Here's a simple way to understand it. Your peripheral nerves are living tissue. They require a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients. That supply comes through tiny blood vessels called capillaries. These are the smallest vessels in your body, thinner than a human hair. As you age, those tiny vessels naturally narrow. Blood flow slows down. Your nerves don't get what they need to function properly. Over time, they start to misfire or stop firing altogether. That's where the numbness comes from. That's where the tingling begins. But there's another piece to this puzzle that most people don't know about. The real problem isn't always diabetes or vitamin deficiencies. It's something I call nerve microcirculation collapse. That's the slow, progressive shutdown of those tiny capillaries that keep your nerves alive. And it can happen quietly in people with normal blood sugar, normal cholesterol, and normal everything else. The microvascular system in your lower legs and feet is the most vulnerable part of your entire circulatory network. Your doctor might not be looking for this. They're trained to look for diabetes, structural damage, and other obvious causes. But this slow vascular starvation flies under the radar for years. And because neuropathy is a known independent risk factor for falls in older adults, the consequences are serious. Now here's the good news. Once you understand the mechanism, the solution starts to make sense. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal when given the right signals. Research shows that targeted exercises can stimulate the production of proteins that actually help repair nerve tissue. We're not just talking about managing symptoms. We're talking about giving your body the tools it needs to begin healing itself. Let's get into the specific exercises that can make a real difference. I'm going to share 7 of them with you. They are designed to restore blood flow to the nerves and retrain the communication pathways between your feet and your brain. Some of these you can do sitting down. Most take less than 5 minutes, and the research behind them is solid. The first exercise is something you can do before your feet even touch the floor in the morning. I call it the morning ankle alphabet. Sit on the edge of your bed, lift one foot off the ground, and slowly trace the letters of the alphabet in the air with your big toe. Use large, deliberate movements. Go from A to Z, then switch feet. Why does this work? Every letter you trace forces your ankle through a full range of motion in multiple directions. That movement mechanically pumps blood into the tiny capillaries surrounding your lower leg nerves. These are the very capillaries that have been starving overnight while you slept and your circulation slowed. Those 3 minutes before you stand up are not just a feel-good exercise. You're actually priming your nerve tissue for the day ahead. The second exercise is the toe spread and towel scrunch. You'll need a small hand towel placed flat on the floor. Sit in a chair and use your bare toes to scrunch the towel toward you, grabbing, pulling, releasing. Do 10 repetitions. Then spread your toes as wide as you possibly can. Hold for 3 seconds, release. Do 3 sets on each foot. Why does this matter? Most people over 60 have essentially stopped using the small muscles inside their feet. When those muscles go dormant, they stop sending important signals to your brain about where your body is in space. This is called proprioception. It depends heavily on your feet. When those signals weaken, your balance suffers. Your brain is essentially flying blind. This exercise reactivates those muscles and restores those vital signals. The third exercise is the heel-to-toe weight shift. Stand at a kitchen counter with both hands lightly resting on the edge for safety. Shift your weight slowly forward onto the balls of your feet and hold for 2 seconds. Then shift back onto your heels and hold for 2 seconds. Repeat 15 times. This exercise isn't about strengthening your legs. It's about opening the communication line between your feet and your brain. Every time your weight shifts, thousands of nerve receptors in the soles of your feet fire signals up to your brain, telling it exactly where your center of gravity is. When neuropathy silences those signals, your balance deteriorates. This exercise reopens that line deliberately and repeatedly. The fourth exercise is textured surface walking. Fold a bath towel into a thick rectangle and place it on the floor. Walk back and forth across it in bare feet for about 5 minutes. If you have a textured yoga mat, that works great too. This is sensory nerve retraining. Your peripheral nerves respond to input. When you walk on uniform, smooth surfaces all the time, you deprive your foot nerves of the varied sensory signals they need to stay active. Walking on an uneven surface delivers a controlled flood of new sensory information. It forces the nerve fibers in your feet to process, adapt, and respond. This type of input has been shown to stimulate the regeneration of small nerve fibers in the skin. The fifth exercise is standing calf raises. Stand at your counter, rise up onto the balls of your feet as high as you comfortably can. Hold for 1 second at the top and lower slowly. Do 2 sets of 15 repetitions. Your calf muscles act as a secondary pump for your circulatory system. Every time they contract, they physically squeeze blood upward through the veins of your lower legs. This helps clear out inflammatory waste products that can accumulate around your nerves. Think of it like wringing out a sponge. It reduces the inflammatory environment your nerves are sitting in. The sixth exercise is the seated leg extension with ankle flex. Sit in a firm chair. Extend one leg out in front of you until it's straight. Flex your foot, pulling your toes back toward your shin as far as they'll go. Hold for 5 seconds. Then point your foot and hold for 5 seconds. Lower and repeat 10 times on each leg. This movement creates gentle tension along the nerve pathway that runs from your lower back down to your toes. This is a technique called neuromobilization. It promotes blood flow within the nerve itself, reduces adhesions, and improves nerve mobility. It's a standard practice in neurological physical therapy. The seventh and final exercise is slow marching in place. Stand at your counter and march in place slowly for 2 minutes. Lift each knee to about hip height and let your arms swing naturally. This isn't about cardio. This is about coordination. Marching reintegrates your entire balance system. It forces your brain to process alternating balance demands from your feet, coordinate with your hips and core, and manage the timing of weight transfer. For someone with neuropathy, each step is a nerve pathway exercise. Now, a few important points about expectations. This is not a 2-week fix. Nerve tissue heals slowly, but it does heal. Most people who do these exercises consistently begin noticing real changes between weeks 4 and 8. Better balance first, then less tingling, and for many, reduced burning sensations at night. I also want to encourage you to bring this conversation to your own doctor. Ask about physical therapy for neuropathy specifically. Ask whether your current treatment plan includes any movement-based intervention. You deserve that conversation, and now you have the questions to ask. If you found this information useful, consider subscribing to Your Digital Doctor. We put out new content every week focused on practical, research-backed information for your health after 60. And speaking of next week, we'll be covering something that connects directly to what we discussed today. The real reason you might be losing balance after 60, and a simple routine most doctors never mention. If today's topic resonated with you, you won't want to miss that one. You can do these exercises. You are not past the point of benefit. The simple act of starting today, even just the ankle alphabet tomorrow morning, puts you ahead of the majority of people living with this condition. The numbness, the tingling, the burning. These are signals from your nervous system asking for something. Movement, circulation, and input. These exercises are your answer.